Grind, 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 grind. Grind, 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 grind. Welcome. It is day 11 of the Encore. I am trying my best to play this damn game, but Dream Drop is annoying. They keep kicking my ass, everything is too hard, and I am suffering because of it. So instead, I'm going to grind my way out of this freaking nightmare. I'm gonna wake myself up from the nightmare that is this game. I'm gonna grind and grind and grind until I am strong enough to escape, because I can't take it anymore. So we're doing it. I played a little bit before the stream, but I had a video to make, so I didn't have a lot of time. But we're doing it. We're doing this. I'm destroying this game. It's going down. I will freaking pull out my sword and I will cut this freaking game in half with the fury and passion of 1,000 suns. Okay. I'm playing as Riku, everybody's favorite. So, I am severely underleveled. Severely. And as you can see, I've been grinding this whole time. I woke up, I recorded an entire video, I started editing it, and playing this game at the same time, trying to level up in this game and grind, while also trying to make my video. And I didn't get high enough. So I am currently level 10. The world says I need to be 14 in order to beat the boss. I have beaten bosses at 12 and 13 before, like 1 or 2 levels below before, but it's not gonna happen. So I have to go up all the way to 16 for the next world. So I think I need to go to at least 14 with each character, which is a lot of grinding. And I'm just gonna have to do it. Sorry if this is gonna be boring. I'm gonna try to be entertaining and talk about shit, but like I need to just kill things. I need to just kill a million things, and I know I should have done it off stream, but I've been busy. The problem with streaming every single day is that you don't really have time to do stuff off stream, you know? Normally I do have like an hour or two before the stream to grind and gain levels if I need to, but I had to make a video this morning, so now it's grind time. I'm just gonna gain all the levels. I'm just gonna do it. The fights are so hard that I was in the area that you go to before the boss, and Sherbert, my little goat friend Sherbert, he died. So I had to die. I had to get myself killed because I didn't want him to die. But he died in like the area before the boss. So clearly, I need levels. I don't want my little pals to die. They're my pals. They're really strong, but I'm not. I need to get stronger. I need to slay every single creature in the goddamn universe. All of them need to disintegrate into ash by my hands. And I need to wake the hell up from the nightmare that is being underleveled in this game. Because it sucks. Cannot describe enough how bad it is. So I am in the Matrix, and I am here to murder everything I see. Everything will die.
Sorry.
Sorry if this is going to be boring. I could talk about something, a specific topic, to ease the suffering. You know, I never really talked about, like, all these games. We've been playing so many of them. It feels like we kind of lost the plot a little bit a while ago. I mean, it's amazing if you think about how much I've actually done in all these streams. How long it's been. Because, like, I used to stream a different game every day, and that was it. 7 days a week. 7 different games, or 7 different things. I would try new things halfway through the week, but they were, like, regular games. And that worked for a while, but then I was like, I want to play Kingdom Hearts already. I've wanted to play it forever. And I played every single game. Let's see, there was 30 days, and then there was 11 days, so that's 41 days. This is the 41st day in a row I've been playing all the Kingdom Hearts. And I think I've learned a lot. Not just about like playing the games, but also about the lore. There's so much lore. It's so deep. I just recorded a video about Organization 13 trying to explain the 14 people in that group, and it's like, that's so many people. Instead, I just kind of did an overview where I like listed all of them in interesting ways, and then tried to explain how it was all formed and what the rules are of the group. But man, it's a complicated game to talk about and to understand. In-marts can be super confusing to people. And this game, by far, is like the most confusing. Because really all this game is just you go into a world that is like very unpopular usually. They're like not super big stories. Like it's not like Pirates of the Caribbean or anything. These are like all the stories people kind of forget about. They're called the sleeping worlds for a reason. And then basically at the end of every story, you get like one lore bit. And the lore bit is always, so far, has been a bad guy who's previously thought to be dead shows up and says something vague. And that's the entire game. And I've been paying really close attention in all these cutscenes in Kingdom Hearts because the thing about Nomura and the way he writes, I don't know if he's making up bullshit the whole time or not. It's still a mystery to me what the hell Nomura is up to, because it feels like there's either two possibilities. Either he makes shit up vaguely, he just says vague statements, and then he later uses those statements as a basis for the next thing. So he'll just say random shit about a book of prophecies, and then in Union Cross he'll be like, alright, what actually is the book of prophecies though? Or he knew the whole time, in which case he's a goddamn genius, and he pre-wrote everything. And it's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell. I'm about to drop too. I really don't want to. I want to keep leveling. Bat wings! Kill him! Kill them all! Oh, I'm dropping. God damn it. Most annoying thing about this game is the dropping. How many can I kill before the drop gauge goes down? But yeah, Nomura's an interesting guy because like I really want to know his process. That's maybe one of the biggest mysteries I'm trying to figure out about Kingdom Hearts, is how much he actually plans out and how much of it is complete nonsense. Because it could just be like the simplest explanation. Occam's Razor would say, well, Nomura, he just says random shit, you know? Ooh, I didn't know you could get powers from dropping. That's awesome. But yeah, holy shit, you can get aerial recovery just from, that's cool. Hell yeah. I think I should switch between them more often. I think I'm just gonna keep grinding as them and then switch, and then keep grinding as them and switch. But yeah, like what? The real question I've always wondered is what the hell with Nomura? What does he have planned? What does he know ahead of time? Because it really feels like the organization was flushed out, no matter what. Like, regardless of if he's just making shit up on the fly, or if he's legit, either way, like, he definitely knew the organization ahead of time. Maybe not all the members' details, but, like, there's so much detail in them. There's, like, 14 different people. And they're across, like, 3 games where they're all introduced. So, like, he had plenty of time to flush them all out. It's not like he just made them up. I mean, he's a character designer at heart, right? That's what he does. He makes people, and then he writes a story around those people. He creates a person, and an identity, and a motive, which means every character has to have a motive then. Like, he draws a person and creates their design, and then comes up with a motive for them to have, and a dreams and a personality. And then he uses that as a basis for the story, and it's all kind of just made up as it goes. But the characters are consistent, so then the story's good. And I never know how much he makes up and how much he plans. And I mean, if Final Fantasy is any indication, the new Final Fantasy games seem like there's a lot planned out. I mean, they had flash forwards in the remake for like a game that isn't going to come out for like 2 more games. Like he knew. He at least had an idea of what was coming. Like this is some Peter Jackson, I want to make 3 games, but I'll just use all your money to make the first one type deal. Like he's got shit planned. He's doing stuff. He's thinking, you know? He's got schemes. And I try to figure out his process every time I play these games. It's like my internal mystery I'm trying to solve. Like there's the mystery of like, do it be gay? But that's very subjective and kind of interpretive, and there's really nothing I can say to prove it either way. And my belief in it wavers all the time, and then it comes back, and then I forget, and then I stop caring about it, and then it comes back. It's not really the main thing that I want to know. Like, if I could ask Nomura anything, I would ask him, how much did you plan ahead of time? Like, being completely honest. Oh my god, I am controlling him. Look at this. I am Panda Man. Explode. Hell yeah. But seriously, how much did he plan, you know? You never can tell. There's just so many possibilities. How much in advance does he know? Does he know what's going to happen in Kingdom Hearts 5? Or is he only thinking about 4 right now? I'm sure he's only thinking about 4 right now. But I don't know, because in 3, there's like foreshadowing for games, and it feels like every game there's a mention of another game that's coming. But I don't know. I don't know. This game, though, this game I have mixed feelings about. I think it's a good game. I just, like I said, it's hard to stream this. You really do have to, like, grind in advance. Oh, no, I'm going to die. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Heal. I don't know. I'm writing a lot of videos about Kingdom Hearts and trying to figure out the lore and explain it to people. Because, like, the biggest thing about these games is that they seem so confusing to people because nobody really plays all of them. Like, even me, I haven't played everyone. I still haven't played the DLC yet. I haven't played Melody of Memory. I never watched Coded all the way through. Or even if I did, I forgot it. And now I finally did. And Coded is a friggin' can of worms. I have no idea how to read that game. We watched the whole movie. I still know nothing. I feel like I know less now. I don't know. I'm noticing patterns in the storytelling of Kingdom Hearts. It feels like there's always one lore scene that sort of like brings up what's next. You know, it's like he does a whole story, the whole game is about that story, but then he'll have one little scene where there's one mysterious character and they'll say something insane and you won't understand it, and then 2 games later it means something. And I just don't know how someone can plan that far ahead. And it really feels like they're just saying random bullshit, and then he makes it make sense. That's like gotta be the way he does it. Because if you don't know, in the last thing we watched, Dream Drop, I'm still thinking about, no, not Dream Drop, Coded. There was one scene that still shocked me, that still confused me. And it was this moment where Maleficent is talking about simulations. She's talking about the Book of Prophecies. She's talking about, like, the world they're in and how it's very similar to a different world she's been trying to find. And she talks about this Book of Prophecies and this whole thing, and it comes out of nowhere, and nobody really notices it when it first came out. But then 2-3 years later, he comes out with Union Cross, and there's a whole thing. The whole game is about that. And how, like, the entire lore of that game might, like, the 3 games that it's made of, it's a whole trilogy. That at one point they might be inside the Book of Prophecies and not know it. Which I still don't completely understand the lore of that yet. But it's just something to think about, that in the way he structures things. But I don't know. It's Kingdom Hearts is a fascinating mystery. And I'm glad that out of all the things the algorithm on YouTube decided that I was supposed to make forever, based on random luck and chance, I'm glad it was Kingdom Hearts, because this game is complex and there's a lot to talk about in the deeper meanings of what is this game and what is it about. There's so many layers to it. So much complex narratives going on. I mean, the fact that this game has simulations and time travel and like multiverses is insane. Like this franchise, like there's gonna be some time travel, and then there's also supposedly in 3 there's a big theory that they switch realities in the middle of it, that they hop from one reality to the next, and there's this whole thing about determinism and fate in Kingdom Hearts, where like things are destined. It starts in this game where they're hinting at it, and then in the next game it's all about it. But like there's this idea that like everything is determined, everything is fated in your reality, but in another reality there's a different fate. So all you need to do is switch realities and suddenly your fate has changed. So fate and reality both exist. And I've had thought about that for a long time, about like multiverses and how like it kind of solves the whole philosophical thing. Is choice a real thing? Is fate real? Well, if a multiverse is real, then both are true. The world, the reality you're in currently is fated to be a certain way, and then your choices change which reality you're in. So both your choice and fate are real. It's like you make a choice, and then the reality you're in gives you a consequence for that choice. So like, they're both real. And I think Kingdom Hearts takes that in 3 with the whole world line hopping thing, if it's true. Which the basic idea of, it's called the Sleeping Realm theory, and the basic idea is that a person, that there's a thing that happens in 3 that I'm not going to spoil, but at a certain point, reality falls apart, and then they go to a new one where they can win now. God damn it. This is the problem with grinding in this game, is that when you die, you lose all your progress. So you have to keep switching rooms. If you don't switch rooms, when you die, you'll lose everything. So I don't even remember where I switched rooms last. I think I'm good. Yes. Okay, yeah, that chest is open. So I didn't lose any progress. All right, good.
Let's go.
But, there's some crazy stuff in this series. I mean, aside from just the basic rules of the universe, which some people still don't really understand, the whole nobody, heartless, will thing is so different than anything and kind of hard to explain. And Kingdom Hearts spends a lot of time explaining things. It's like 90% of the story is exposition, which is maybe the reason a lot of people get so confused, because they're like, oh, I have to pay attention to all this stuff. So then they kind of tune it out, most people. Because it's like, if there's just a guy telling you everything, then you're going to be bored. And Kingdom Hearts does a lot of telling and not showing. Like, I'm not going to say Kingdom Hearts is the best written story ever. I just think it's the most interesting one. I think it takes a lot of fucking risks all the time, and it does things that no one would ever do. Nobody would do 2 separate time travels. Like, that's, like, not, like, 2 different kinds of time travel. Like, you can time travel with your heart into your past self, and you can time travel into another reality. Like, that's 2 different time travels. That's crazy. He's a madman. That's just one set of games. Like, the fucking insanity of this series. To make an entire group of bad guys, and there's 14 of them, and you kill 6 of them before you even learn the name of the group, that's crazy. In Chain of Memories, you're losing half of your memory the whole time. You don't even know what's real. And there's just like 6 people with random names with X's in them, and you kill half of them. God damn it. And not only are you killing them, but they're killing each other. Like, this shit's wild. It's a wild way to deliver a story. And like, I'm not even gonna, maybe I should go into it since I have all this time to grind, because that's what I'm gonna be doing this entire friggin' stream. If people come in and start talking, I'll answer questions about Kingdom Hearts or something, or just talk about it, because like, what else am I supposed to do during this? God damn it, it's so hard to do the hacking. But like, the group of in Chain of Memories, the organization is so weird. Like, I don't know how you come up with something like the way Nomura comes up with things. His process, I just want to know. Because like, if you try to reverse engineer how the stories were put together, it doesn't make any sense. And I think that's where a lot of people get lost, because they feel like he's making shit up. And I don't know if he is. Maybe he is. I guess it really doesn't matter if like the product is good at the end. Like, who cares the process? But just as a righty guy, I kind of want to know how he did it. I want to know the secrets. Because like, the Japanese philosophy of video games, it was based on toy companies originally. So like, you don't even know the thought process in general, where it comes from. Like the training and the way in which they learn to make games is so different than American studios, which American studios is like very corporate and very like computer programming based. And it's interesting to just like think about video games, because they're written so different than any other kind of writing. Like movies, plays, books, they're all written kind of the same. And like, a book is like, you pick a specific theme that you want to talk about, and you create specific characters, and you just sort of follow around those characters and try to talk about how they feel and think. And God, I keep dying in the same spot. It's so annoying. And then like, a script is all about the visual side, so it's like you create a bunch of characters and a concept, and then you're just going with the concept. And like, comic books is you create a character, and then you're watching that character go through a specific situation and watching them overcome that situation, and it's the same character, and you're just watching their life as they slowly change over time, and then every 10 or so years you completely change who they are, but keep the basic core. So they're all very different ways of writing. But video games, it's like, there's like 2 different ways to write video games. There's like the American way, which is like, you create a game as like a technical issue, you come up with it, you pick a genre, and then you sort of figure out how to program a fun loop. And then you create a game around that loop. And then the story is like just something you tack on at the end, usually. And then I still don't understand how Japanese companies write games. It's different depending on who's making it. Because I think Sony and Nintendo are very different. Nintendo makes games based on like toys, and their whole thing is like, what's the feeling of the game? And then the story is not unimportant. Like, there is no story in Nintendo games, generally. But then Sony is the opposite, because they made JRPGs. So like, their whole thing is, all that matters is the story. There is no game. The game is clicking on menus, and the story is all that matters. And all the stories are about like killing a god, and like these super deep concepts that are just like out of nowhere wacky. And you really don't know where any of it comes from. And it almost feels like it's based on the looks. Like, maybe Nomura just makes the bosses and characters. He just draws what everything looks like, and it's just visual based. And then the story just kind of comes into focus after. But there's so much, like, I don't even know what to call it. There's not a term for what Nomura does. I have to, like, invent a new word to explain what he does. Like in a story, there's a thing called planting, where like when you're writing a story, you come up with a new idea, you go back and you plant it earlier in the story so that it makes sense. So you're like, ooh, that's a cool idea. Let me put that back in the beginning. So you'll add it back in the beginning. Nomura does that, but in different projects. He'll plant a thing before the game happens. And I'm like, it's like he's like precognitively, he's like seeing into the fucking future. Because he'll add a thing before it exists. And I don't know how he does it. I don't know if it's because all these games were remade, so he can sneak a little scene in there, so he's planting after the fact, and I just don't know. Or if it was really in there the whole time. That's the nature of like the Kingdom Hearts games, is that they remade like every 3-4 years, and he always adds shit. And you're like, how much of this was added after, and how much was added during? Because this is, you know, this is the final mix, right? That's what it's called every time. It's like you get the first draft of the Kingdom Hearts game when it comes out, and then over time it gets added to make more sense. It's like he's patching in the story. And I just wonder if he just planting these scenes in? Like all the stuff with Xigbar is insane. There's so much like if you know the twist at the end of all of Kingdom Hearts, like if you know the twist for Xigbar, everything he says is completely different in every game. It's like he speaks in double speak the entire time. Every single word he says is incredibly important and feels like it was planned from the beginning, which makes no sense because there's no way he would know. There's no way. Xigbar's number 2 in the organization, but like nobody even picks up on that in the years he existed. Like nobody understood what he has going on secretly behind the scenes, and it's like he's just there, and you don't even think about it. And he says all this crazy shit, and then I wonder about Luxord. I wonder about what he's about, because he's so mysterious, and there's like barely any mention of him. But every time I see him in a scene, I'm like, oh, he's got Xigbar shit going on. Somebody's Xigbaring right now. And I wish I could describe what it is. Like I could come up with a name that really fits. Because I have like 3 different theories on how Nomura wrote all this shit. Like if I were to break it down, I guess I could say it's like, yeah, he's either planting, he's patch planting, like he's planting it after the game already exists, because he can. Or he's like vague, he's vague planting. He's just making shit up and then like saying random nonsense, and then he makes it make sense later. Like he gives you his idea, he plants the idea first and then creates the idea. Or he just planned it all out. Like as a guy who ran D&D games for years and still has stories I wrote 5 years ago that have never been made, you can plan shit way in advance, and it's easy. And you can change your mind halfway through and nobody would know. And sometimes I think maybe that's what he's doing. Maybe he's dungeon mastering it. Maybe he just has some ideas and he's talking about them vaguely in the story, and then later he brings it up. Because like an interesting thing, if you're talking about like all the different kinds of writing, D&D, that's like another type of writing. It's like a whole different kind of writing when you write D&D. D&D is you plan a situation for other characters. So you don't even make the characters. Someone else makes the characters. Then you hear what those characters' stories are, kind of. And then you write a situation for those characters to go into. And you write someone for them to fight. And then you don't know what's going to happen. It's writing where the story tells itself. It's very different. And I don't know if how Kingdom Hearts is written. I think it's my ultimate question. I think when I'm finally done talking about Kingdom Hearts, I think that's the video I'm going to make. The truth about Nomura. That's what I'm gonna call it. And it's gonna be about like all this. But I'm still not even close to that. I just wrote this Organization 13 video, and I realized that there's gonna be like 4 more videos just about them. I hope people are still interested, because like I'm surprised people have been watching as long as they are. And like I know a lot of them are there because of the whole Soriku Sokai thing. And it's like there's only so much you can say about the ships in Kingdom Hearts. There's only like 5 or 6 total ships that like have any meaning. And like in order to understand them, you have to play through all the games anyway. So like I'm just talking about everything I can. There's just so much to talk about. So I can't just talk about that, but I don't know. Kingdom Hearts has so many levels on it because there's like the whole shipping thing. And I know Nomura plays into it. I don't know how much he actually cares. But like Final Fantasy had the same shit. So like clearly it's either a symptom of what he does or he plans for it to happen. But like all of his games, their audience has become really big, and all that, like there's so much conversation about who's with who. It's insane. Like I think Final Fantasy was really about that, like deeply. It's like there's a whole thing about the love triangle of Final Fantasy with Cloud and Aerith and Tifa, and Final Fantasy 8 had that too, with Leon had like the girlfriend he was after and stuff. I don't know enough about 8 to really talk about it though. I want to play that at some point. I wish they would remake that. Alright, I think I got all the guys. I think I've cleared that. What level am I now? Have I leveled up at all? Been talking for 30 minutes. I hope you're enjoying it. It's a fascinating thing that I'm obsessed with, this strange game. Okay, I leveled up twice. Good. And Sherbert and Wowie are really up there. You know what? I'm gonna look at their abilities. They probably have a shit ton of points now. So I think these give the creature these spells. So they're getting defense boost, and then they're getting... How many points do I have? Oh my god, 100. Oh my god. Well, he's filled everything out. Oh, I can open that now. Awesome. Aw, shit. Damn it, Leaf Bracer is right there. Oh. Okay. Let's start with this. Fire windmill. Yes. I thought at first that this was how you got abilities, but it's not. This is what abilities they get, which is really interesting. Basically, you're leveling them up with you. It's kind of a cool system. Okay, I got one more thing. I can go here. My fiery goat boy. And then, yeah, we got this guy. Batman. By the way, I just watched an amazing movie last night. There's a new Batman animated movie. Oh, man, it was so good. It was Batman Lovecraft. It was awesome. It was insane. Like, the ending of it, like, I'm not gonna spoil it, but damn. The shit they came up with. I love it when they do Elseworld Batman stories, because, like, Batman is an awesome character, and just, I like seeing him in any situation. They did, Gotham by Gaslight, which was Batman, but he's in the in the Victorian London fighting Jack the Ripper, and that shit was awesome. And now they did Batman. They did Batman's the Samurai one, which I didn't watch. Heard it wasn't very good. And then they did Batman versus like Cthulhu, basically. I think it was Hasser. I'm not sure which Lovecraftian god it was. It was really interesting. They made Green Arrow like a knight. They changed everything. Like that was the point. Like I think Poison Ivy at one point is like just a monster that they make. There's like an ice bag guy though, and he's not Freeze, and I was like, why isn't he Mr. Freeze? Why'd you do it this way? He's just some guy. Also, they changed Jason Todd to Sanjay Todd, like T-A-W-D-E. And you don't even realize it until like halfway through, and then you're like, oh yeah, that's Jason, but he doesn't act like him at all. I wish he acted like him more. That's the one thing that I wasn't super into. Like, I'm fine with you changing it, like what his name is and stuff. I don't care about that. But like he just didn't act like Jason does. He wasn't like a cocky asshole. He just was like a guy. But anyway, I'm almost leveled up. I'm here. I think I should start fighting my way towards the boss now. I gotta remember where the hell it is. Sorry, I had to grind for an hour, but you know. That's Kingdom Hearts. But man, you know, it's actually kind of relaxing to just play a game for a minute and just talk. Like, I got so caught up in like the actual story of the game and like trying to progress and beat this game and beat Kingdom Hearts. I forgot how good this game is. It is like, I was shitting all over it the last 2 days because of how irritated I was from the grinding, because like it's really bad. It's a very big design problem. But this is a good game. It's really fun. It's really easy to just mindlessly shut off your brain and play it. Like, that's the whole point. It's supposed to be that way. And most Kingdom Hearts are kind of like that, but there's a degree of, like, you're actually going through the story. In this, I don't know what happened. I think it's just an oversight, maybe. Because, like, at the beginning of this game, you can kind of bypass every enemy, and maybe that's what I did subconsciously. I just went past them all because I was trying to get it forward in the story. But it feels different than all the other ones. It feels like there's something wrong with the level scaling in this game. Like, we've played 6 Kingdom Hearts games, and this is the first time I've had, like, a scaling problem. Like, I feel like there is something in this game, because I've seen so many people mess this game up when they stream it. Like, it's a real issue. And I think all the Kingdom Hearts games are, like, perfectly scaled. It's rare, because in most JRPGs, the scaling is bad on purpose, because that's the game. But Kingdom Hearts is like the best scaling game of all the JRPGs. Because JRPGs, the whole thing is like the grind. And that's the whole problem with them, that so many people hate them. Because there's like this, you have to play 10 million hours and kill 10 million. Kingdom Hearts has never had that. Kingdom Hearts grind is like after the fact. You grind because you want to, not because you have to. This is the first time I have to. And I don't like it. I think it's interesting, though, what's happening with JRPGs, because, like, with Final Fantasy 16 basically being like, yeah, fuck all that boring bullshit, and Final Fantasy Remake doing the same thing, I think they finally figured out that people won't put up with it anymore. They want more people to play. They want a more general audience. So they're like, we're done. We're done with the grindy bullshit. People hate it. We're not doing it anymore. All right, is this gonna lead me to the boss, or does this lead me to another room? I think it takes me to another room. Nope, it's the boss. Oh, shit. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm not ready. I'll try one. Let's just try one. Let's just see. Let's just see if we can beat him. I accidentally walked in here. Let's see if he's gonna kick my ass or not. Yep, he kicks my ass. Okay, still 2 levels under. That's fine. I accidentally hit retry. Shit. Should hit exit battle. That's the thing they added in this game, is the retry / exit battle thing, which is cool. And they added it in Birth by Sleep too. Which is, instead of just going back to the room and having to walk in, you just hit retry. You just do the boss again. Alright, kill me so I can drop, please. Thank you. Sorry, Tron, I'll save you later. Alright. I'm gonna drop. Riku, here I come. Okay, wake up block. Hell yeah. I love this. It's like block, like giving abilities as you switch. That's awesome. Oh, I was in the middle of a fight, wasn't I? Oh, shit. Fire raid! Fire raid! But yeah, I don't know. The stream's been kind of empty lately. There were a lot of people yesterday, or not, 2 days ago at the end of a stream. But I don't know. Sometimes I think that there's like slow days. You can kind of feel it at the beginning. I think the farther we get away from Wednesday, the less people will end up showing up. Because people see the video that I make and then they show up. And there was a big boost of new people when I started making all those videos and saying, hey, remember the stream? That's a thing I do. You should check out the stream. I don't know. YouTube's popping off right now, but the Twitch, it's slightly better, but it's kind of more of the same. I'm always on the fence about streaming. I've been doing it for like hundreds of days. I might have to take a break soon, and I really don't want to. I want to keep my streak, my endless streak. I don't know, after I beat Kingdom Hearts, I might take a week or two. I'm not sure. The plan was to take off in January, because I'm still doing that. I think only me cares, only I specifically care about my weird streak. Because I realized that I hated waiting between streams. It just I felt anxious the less I streamed, like the time between the streams would just make me more and more anxious that a show was coming up. And it's better to just be in it. It's like when musicians go on tour, they just go on tour and they do a show every night until the tour is complete, you know? And that's fine. So why shouldn't you do the same when you're streaming, you know? I think it's unhealthy to make it a regular 3 days a week. I think that's worse psychologically than just going in and being like, all right, for the next 8 months, I'm just gonna stream every day or whatever. I mean, they're both bad, but I don't know. I like doing this. It's just this game for the last 2 days has really been pissing me off. But I might have some visitors for a few days in like a month. I might have to actually stop. Might be forced to stop for a while. We'll see. I think I'm still gonna do it. It just might be like a rough week where I stream early, I stop early or something, or start late. There's so many months I have planned. Since we are here and I'm just talking about stuff, there's so many different months I want to do. As I like this, like, doing one thing a month thing. I think going past 30 days was a mistake. I'm happy to do it because it's Kingdom Hearts, but, like, damn, we're in, like, day 9 of the second month, and I regret it. I regret just being like, I'm going to do 2 months. It feels like I should have just done the one thing and then been like, all right, we beat Kingdom Hearts 2. Sorry, that's as far as I made it. But I personally want to beat all these games now. I just want to play 3 really bad. So I'm like, all right, I'll beat this game. I need to play it anyway, just so I understand the lore for the videos. So this is all research anyway. I think doing the 7 days a week thing was fun, but I don't think people really responded to it review-wise. I think it was too much for people to handle. And I think doing the same thing every day for a month kind of gives people time to be like, ooh, I'm missing that. I should go see that. I wonder what they're doing. I wonder how far they've gotten in their quest this month. And there is something about how, like, I don't have to think about what I'm going to stream. I just know what it's going to be. That's pretty nice. But I want to do a D&D month, but I feel like it's impossible. Like, it's going to destroy me if I do it. Because I did it before. I did every week, every Sunday for 18 weeks straight. I played D&D. And I liked the stuff I made from it. I don't remember how well it went. I remember being kind of stressed. But doing it for a month, like every day, I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna work. I want to do it though. I have like 15 different D&D shows I've been wanting to do. So like forcing myself to do them would be great. I just don't know if my throat can take it. I don't know if I could talk for 4 hours a night for 30 days. There's time, you know, I'm talking every day now, but not like I would in D&D. There's no like pause time, like where I'm looking at the game or anything. Or there's like cutscenes or anything. Like it's straight up the whole time you're talking, because I am everyone. It's not like I'm playing it with other people or something. Like if I had a whole crew, like if I had a D&D troupe, you know, like a theater troupe, but for D&D, then I could do it for a month. I could do it forever. But I don't. My troupe is me. So it's just like, it's not very healthy to be everyone in the show. Do a one-man show for 30 days straight. Like, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can do it. Physically. Like, I want to do it, but I don't know if I can. And I was like, can I even mentally write 2 stories a night? Because that was the idea, was to do 2 different D&D stories every night. Because a D&D story only lasts an hour and a half. The way I play, anyway. Like, in an entertaining way, to, like, turn it into, like, a podcast or, like, a stream. 2 hours, you're out, you know? I don't want any more than that. So it's like, well, if I wanted to do my full stream, it would have to be, like, 2 D&D stories. And I was thinking about, like, how many D&D games I want to play. And there's, like, 3 different shows I want to do. I want to do the Kingdom Hearts thing. I want to do Kingdoms and Keyholes. But I also want to do Strahd and beat it, because I did it, like, a year ago. And I want to finish that damn story. And I want to do the Pit stuff I've been writing, because I wrote the Pit a while ago. I have a whole thing I want to do with the Pit. It's like a sequel to Beneath the Ground, but it's a bunch of new characters, but it's related to it. And I want to make it, but I'm like, how do I fit all those in? I also wanted to do like a Star Wars one. And I'm like, that's a lot too. That's like a lot of things. So in order to do all of them, I'd have to do 2 a night. And I'm like, can I do 2 whole games of D&D as a dungeon master? Like, can I do that? Do I have the skills? And also, how would that show work, you know? I don't know. Welcome to the Aloney workshop hour, where I ramble to myself about my plans while I grind a video game. I wanted to do this last night, by the way. Sorry I'm doing it on stream. I wanted to do it last night after the stream, but I got super tired, and I went to bed early, and I wish I had the energy, because if I was awake, I would have freaking... Instead of being an old man, I would have played this game like this off stream and just thought about this. But I gotta say something, or this is gonna be super boring and not compelling whatsoever. And even if nobody watches, or just like one friend or whatever, there's still a VOD. There's still a chance that someone could watch this. I have to be entertaining. I want to be. It's a skill. Gotta develop it. But yeah, I don't know. Doing a D&D show, two shows a day, it would be like an hour and a half. It would be like we start the show, all the characters introduce themselves, we do like a little intro. I do some prep before the stream to set up the game. And then we play the game, and then when the game's over, then I go, all right, bye to all the characters, and then I have a new set of characters come in, and we have them get introduced, and then I prep the new one and start. I just don't know if I would do a be right back screen in the middle, or if I would like stall for time, or if I would have both games preset. I don't know. One of those shows is enough for it to last the whole time, though. Like the Kingdom Hearts show idea is a lot, and it might be more like the Kingdom Hearts and the Strahd. I don't know if I could do them both. And then I was like, well, I could switch between them. It's like, all right, well, these 3 days we're gonna do Kingdom Hearts, and these 3 days we're gonna do Strahd. But then I feel like people are gonna be confused jumping into the streams. I think people are going to be confused regardless. I don't know if anybody's even going to watch them. Because when you do a narrative story over the course of the whole stream, like, it's fine when it's Kingdom Hearts, because it's like people are just jumping in to see what you're up to and how far you've gotten. And they really don't know what the hell's going on if they haven't played before. But, like, with D&D... like, they're gonna be so lost every time, and that's why I feel like nobody watches the D&D shows, because it's like you don't know where they're at in the story, and I'm like, well, then do I make it episodic? And I'm like, I don't know if that works. I don't know. D&D's complex. Anyway, where am I at level-wise? I'm at 13 now. So, technically, I only need one more to be able to beat the boss, but I'm gonna go 2 more. I think it's time to fight my way towards the boss. Let me see if I'm going the right way. I think this is the right way. Make your way to the portal. And then, yeah, the arrow is pointing up. So, yeah, I have to go through the docks. Very far journey. By the time I get there, hopefully I'll be strong enough to do it. I'm on my way to Viridian City. I'm going. As soon as I kill all these giant Beetleborgs, I'll make it. Remember the Beetleborgs? Every time I see a beetle, I think, Beetleborgs. It's a real old school Power Rangers type show. Power Rangers is fascinating, like the way it was created, like how it came to be. Because like in Japan, they have this thing called Super Sentai shows, which is like a genre of show where there's like people that transform into like a motorcycle outfit and they fight monsters. And there's like a million of them. And an American studio is like, how can we bring this to the US? So they came up with a genius idea, like maybe the smartest idea ever, which is, what if we take all these different shows and we just rebrand them as one show. So every Power Rangers show, in the beginning at least, was just like they took the original footage with their masks on, and then they would reshoot the scenes with the American characters. So they would basically like dub over the scenes of non-combat and change the story completely to make it match whatever they wanted. So that's why you have like 15 different Power Rangers shows, because they're just taking different shows from Super Sentai's and transforming them into Power Rangers shows. And Beetleborgs was one of those. It was a different company trying to make their own thing that was like Power Rangers, but it was so different, the original Super Sentai, that they couldn't call it a Power Rangers thing, so it was called Beetleborgs. And it was like real old. I don't even remember most of it. I just remember the name and what it looked like. Hack. God damn, it's so hard to hack. That hacking minigame is annoying. Okay. This way. Open. Shit. You can only make 3 mistakes. Maybe 4? No. 1, 2. You know, it was another amazing show I watched yesterday. The new Superman show. It's so good. They're only on the 2nd episode, but it's so good. A lot of people are like, it's just Owl House, but with Superman. And it's like, yep, kind of. It's got a very similar art style. But yeah, it looks good. It's been, and then the first 2 episodes were good. It's really just Lois and Clark, the New Adventures of Lois and Clark, but as anime. It's like the same exact show from the 90s, the Real Adventures of Lois and Clark. It's just that show, but, or the New Adventures of Lois and Clark. It's the same exact show as that. Like, exactly. It's just now and animated. Like, I really thought, because everybody was hyping it up, I thought it was going to be about Jonathan Kent, and it was going to be the new Superman. But it's not. It's just old Superman again. And I'm like, that's great, but like, I want Jonathan Kent Superman. I want the bi Superman, who got to be bi for like 5 minutes before everybody canceled him. That would have been awesome. I would have loved to have watched that. Basically the Super Sons show. Like, why isn't Super Sons a show? They got a movie, but they don't get no show? That shit would get 1 billion views. It's like my favorite story in comics. It's so good. I don't read a lot of comics, but I know a lot of the stories, and that's a good one. Also, I really hate the way they handled bi Superman in general. Because, like, they made John Kent grow up, and then they gave him, like, a Lois knockoff that's, like, that's kind of, like, not the best pick. And I think everyone wanted it to be Damian. But they didn't do it. They just didn't have the balls to make, you know, they're like, well, we'll make Superman bi as like a publicity thing, but we're not gonna make Batman's son also bi. We're not gonna do that. We're not doing that. Nope, sorry. We're not gonna push the limit and really take the risk. Anyway. Alright. It's time for me to go. I'm going. I think I'm high enough level. I think it's time to to begin the true stream. I think the way I'm gonna cut the VOD is I'm gonna put up the title screen again, and I'm just gonna act like this VOD just started, and there'll be a separate VOD that's just this grind stream. And I'm just gonna act like I started an hour later. But yeah, before this stream I made a video. It's recorded, the audio is edited. I just have to, right after this stream, sit down, cut it all up, add some video and some music, and it's done. I'm really good at making videos now. I'm so fast. It used to take way longer, and now the process is so quick. It just takes me like 4 hours and it's done. Shit. If anything, the writing is the long part. Come on. Okay. I believe in you, Riku. Hack into this mainframe. Blow it up. Auto. Destruct. Alright. Since I need a level, I'm going to explore this place. Because I never explore it. I just run away. What could be here? What secrets do you hold? Well, I lost my viewer. Sometimes when I look at the view count and it says 2, I wonder if it's my friend Scott, because he watches sometimes and will like make clips. So whenever there's two viewers on the counter, I just assume that it's him. Because when it says 1 viewer, I'm pretty sure it's me. Maybe it isn't. Maybe I always have someone watching me, and I'm just that far along now. But I don't think it is. I think that is me. But I heard some advice a really long time ago, which is if you're streaming, even if no one is watching, you should act like somebody's watching. Because you don't know if anybody's going to be watching the VOD later, and you also don't know if somebody's just going to jump in. And if they jump into you thinking that you're not with no one watching you, then it doesn't look good. They're not going to want to stick around. But if you just act like there's 50 people watching you, you're good. Oh. God damn. Ugh. Auto. Destruct. Yes. There we go. Blow up, nerd. Okay. Alright, what happens when you take Drop Me Not? What does it actually do? How do you take it? You add it to your command deck?
Okay.
Oh wow, it just resets the whole thing, huh? Interesting. All right, here we go. There's so much stuff. Ooh, chest. But yeah, sometimes I wonder if it's my friend or if it's a strange or... Usually I don't really care when they come or go, but like... I literally said they didn't have the balls to make Batman's son gay, and then they disappeared, and I was like, uh-oh. But actually, I think there was a delay, so I don't think they left at that moment. They probably left slightly earlier. And it's like, do I care if someone leaves during that? I guess it's a good thing, right? Because it's like, well, you don't want somebody watching you who wouldn't be into whatever you're talking about. Streaming is weird. I don't know if streaming is the healthiest thing you can do, really. It's really mentally messed up. You're basically performing a one-man show to an empty room, and occasionally a number goes up when you're doing good. And that number is a real person watching you, and you don't know what they look like. So it's like this weird feeling of like, you're doing a one-man show, like behind a two-way mirror. And you just see yourself on that mirror, and then when someone's watching you, they press a button, and a little light lights up. That's what it's like. Like, if you did that to someone in real life, like without internet, without the context of the internet, that would be insane. Like, I just imagine a guy dressed up in an old-timey outfit, standing behind a mirror, and the guy's like performing some sort of act, like he's acting out a play or he's making a joke. You're basically a human flapper girl when you're a streamer. I mean, I guess that's what cam girls are. You're basically a cam girl for friendship. Or for comedy. It depends on what you want when you're watching a streamer. Shoot him. Do it, turret. You're my friend. Shoot him. Ah, you stupid turret. Alright, I'm gonna blow up the turret. Can I blow up the turret now? No, I can't. It's on my side. That's an oversight. I guess blowing it up isn't going to destroy the floor then. If I can't. Yeah, it would always give me the option. Okay. Have I gone everywhere? Have I seen everything? I think so. What level am I? 14. Perfect. Sora's 13. Okay, we got it. Sora's level 13. Riku's level 14. I want to go to 15 just in case, because the next world is at 16, so when I beat the boss, I will hopefully level up. Thunder. Also, cool thing about this is that as I level... God damn it. God damn it. How much progress did I just lose? Fuck. God damn it. Why do they do this? Why do they have this be the system? The Kingdom Hearts room system is so annoying, where it's like, okay, you're in a room. Until you leave the room, it will not save. It saves every time you enter and leave a room. So if you die, you lose everything. Good luck grinding. It's like Kingdom Hearts doesn't even want you to grind. Fuck. Anyway, yeah, so as I was saying, streaming is basically like you're a guy in a room looking at one-way glass. And people outside you can see what you're doing. And you can see what you're doing. But you can't see them. And when they're standing there, you can see, you know they're there, but you don't know what they look like. And it's like your self-worth is tied to whether or not someone is looking at you. It's maybe the perfect metaphor for art. Because, like, ultimately, all art really is just attention seeking. Like, if you really boil it down, that's what it is. I mean, yes, there's greater meanings to art, and it does provide a service, and it is a thing that is necessary for society. It helps people understand themselves, their identity, helps them distract themselves from the pain of everyday life. Like, it's important. But also, the people who make it, the motives for making it, deep down, there's always two motives. There's a great video by, what's his name? CJ the X. The great video by CJ the X about creativity. I think it was called something about Kronk or something. Can't remember. Kronk from Emperor's New Groove was like the through line that gets you into it, but really it was an essay about how people create. And basically they sat down with a bunch of creators and they asked them, why do you make things? And then they answered the question, and they would say, but why do you really make things? What's the real answer? And then they would say the real reason, the deeper reason. And the whole video is about how every creator has this sort of two reasons why they make things. The deeper purpose, you know, the thing they say to themselves, that's the meaning. But then there's the real meaning. I think for me, the deeper purpose is to provide a distraction and also inspiration. That's like the main purpose, is to make people feel like less alone and more entertained, and to help them forget about the shit in their life. That's kind of the main, that's the surface reason. And then I think the real reason is neglect. I think that's my real reason. I didn't have a lot of attention growing up, so now I crave it. I think that's the deeper meaning, if we're gonna get all philosophical. I think it's a need for others. I think that's why I do it. Which makes, like, the psychological effect of, like, streaming kind of bad. Like, when you make a YouTube video, it's very, like, alright, either you get the views or you don't. You make the video, and then while you're at work 2 days later, you'll see a comment and it'll make you feel good. Or it'll make you feel bad. I haven't had a comment make me feel bad yet. I'm too small. Alright, can I just take a potion? Is that a thing you can do? Can you just, like, take it without having to do all this bullshit? Nope, you gotta put it in the freaking hot bar.
Okay.
Okay. Welcome to the marathon that is leveling up in the train yard. But yeah, those are the sort of two reasons I do this. And I like it. Sometimes I think it's a waste. But then I remember all the people who have enjoyed these streams and these videos, and then I think, well, maybe it was worth it. Beetleborgs, they instantly murder me. I cannot fight them. Fuck those things. God damn. Leave me alone. Oh shit, there's like a bunch of shit in here. Secrets. Secrets. Top secrets. A long time ago, I watched this movie called The Number 23 with Jim Carrey. And there's this moment where he sees a name in a book, and the name of the book is Top Secrets. Top Secrets. And by the end, he's like, oh my god, Top Secrets. And it's like one of the dumbest reveals ever, but I can't stop thinking about it. And every time I find the secret, I think it in my head. It's like, it wormed its way into my brain. I love that movie. That movie's fucking good. I don't care what anybody says. This is a good one. People crapped all over that movie when it came out, but like, number 23, good ass movie. It's all about numerology. It's good. He finds a book called The Number 23, and it drives him mad. God damn it. I should have just let myself drop. God fucking damn you. You son of a bitch. I have died 3 times in this area. Rising Wing, murder them. Just kill them. Kill all of them quickly so that I may gain the 2 fucking levels I need. I've done it 5 times now. Could you just fucking kill them? Thank you. Die. I am Batman. You are dead. Die, 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 die. Go away forever. Bleed in a hole. Fucking Beetleborgs killing me. Anyway, it's a good movie. It's a good one. It's one of Jim Carrey's serious movies. He does that sometimes. And when he does, they're really good. And then people don't like them because they're like, but I want the ha-has from the Jim Carrey. And it's like, well, he's a well-rounded individual. He's got different opinions. Makes different stuff. Destruct. Auto. Blow up. Blow up. Blow up. Explode. The thing that's pissing me off is I love this part of the level. This is cool. But I keep dying right by the end when I've cleared everything because I'm not dropping. And that's why you need to drop. Maybe that's what the drop is about. Maybe the drop is there so that this doesn't happen as often. It forces you to switch characters because you need to level them both equally. And if you don't, then you'll fail. So it's like forcing you to switch to Sora. And it also kind of forces you to be able to get an autosave. Because when you become Sora, you get a new ability and you autosave. Also, what the hell? I didn't equip it, did I? I've had it this whole time. No, I do have it. Okay. Counter aura, and then there was wake up block. Yeah, I do. There it is. Wake up block. Block head on with X to slow the drop gauge. Oh, that could have been useful this whole time. When I block, it makes me switch to Sora less often. That's cool. Shoot me. Oh, it isn't the Beetleborgs that are killing me. It's these frickin' douches. These turrets kept shooting me, and I didn't notice. Those ones. That's what it was. Okay, down here. Secret chest. Random items that I will never use. I'm probably just gonna sell them all for monies so that I can buy one random ability. But occasionally I'll find those, the parts that let me make my little spirit buddies. And I'm like, should I make another spirit? Because, like, I like the guys I got. That's my Pokemon problem. I never get new members of my team. I just end up with, like, the same few. I get attached to them too easily. And then I'm like, I don't want any more Pokemans. I have all my Pokemon. I'm level 14. Fuck yeah. Alright, I'm letting him drop. When he drops, he drops. Until then, I'm just gonna keep looking for treasure. And then Sora should be like 1 level away from being able to beat the boss. I don't know though, he was getting his ass whooped. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's new. Wait, what? What? Did I? You can leave that way? I didn't know that. That's cool. Oh no, I can't go back now, can I? Oh, they won't let me. Whoa, weird. Well, guess I'm not going back there. That's crazy. Huh. There's like a secret door that takes you out here. I wanted to go to the other hatch, but alright. I guess even the game is like, stop grinding, dude. Stop it. You're done. You're at the right level, just move on. And I'm like, yeah, but it's gonna be hard still. That just shows how low level you are in this game, that even if I grind for an hour, I'm still weak. Alright, attack up, magic up, affinity up. Switching over. It's Sora time. Let's see what level he is, if he's ready. Sora time. Sora is 13 going on 14. Fuck. I don't know. I think by the time I get there, I should be good. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start the VOD will end here and then it will restart right here.